Hello again, gamers. Welcome back to the Board Game Captain. I'm the Board Game Captain.
I'm Lynn, and today we are going to be reviewing and showing you how to play the Eurovision Song Contest board game.
The game with way too many subtitles, because holy crud, is that ridiculous.
It is published by Just Games. There is their logo. They are from the Netherlands, I believe.
Now, for those because most of our viewers are American, and Americans will not know what the Eurovision Song Contest is usually. The Eurovision Song Contest is a yearly song contest started between European countries after World War II, hence the name Eurovision, though now it does include some countries that are not in Europe, such as Australia and Israel. Mm-hmm. And it is a yearly song contest where each country, decided on in their own way, puts forth a musical act with a song. Multi-genre, can be any genre you like, and they battle it out. It's like a battle of the bands, basically, to see who's got the best song.
And it's really fun. And
every year, Lynn has, for the last few years, got me into watching it with her, and every year it fills me with unbelievable amounts of rage. And that is mainly...
Except for 2015.
Yeah, was that when Mons won?
Yes.
I have not agreed with who won since Mons. So but you know what's funny is that's kind of part of the joy of the contest itself, is that everybody always has their favorites and is horribly upset when they think the wrong person won, which I always think the wrong person won.
I've fully come to terms that my favorite is never going to win.
So this is the official board game based on Eurovision.
Yes.
So let's have a look here.
12 plus for age, 2 to 6 players, and 45 minutes.
All right, the 12 plus is a big
it's a trivia game. You just got to know the knowledge.
Yeah, okay. So I guess to the rules for play, you could be way down in the single digits. However, knowledge of the trivia, I think that's tough to gauge for age, because you could be this could be you just watched your very first Eurovision and were like, oh, let me get the board game, but you don't have the knowledge. No matter what your age is, you're not going to know it. And then it's the 2 to 6 players. Yeah, okay, it plays equally well. And the 45 minutes.
It was really quick when we played a couple times.
Yeah, but it seems to me it'll vary quite a bit based on the number of players. Yes. So again, I hate when they do just a specific amount of time like that. There should be a range. But I mean, generally speaking, I would say with 2 or 3 players, definitely under 45 minutes. Let's open it up though and see what comes in the box. So, what have we got here?
We have a die and all the little colored pieces that hop along the board.
Yeah, there's some little wooden pawns. They are wood. The die is pretty nice. The wooden pawns, I mean, they're pretty
functional.
Yeah, they're functional. They're pretty standard. They're chunky and nice.
We have a double-sided country flag.
Now, you get to control 2 countries. Each player gets to control 2 countries. There's not any actual difference between the countries. It's really just for fun, so you can be like, this time I'll be controlling Bulgaria and Andorra. Just so you can say that.
And they do have countries that, like Turkey, who has participated in the past, but will probably not participate again in the future. Yeah, so they have those
they're in there.
For the people who... There are always people every year with the Turkish
flag
by the way, audience.
on the subject of Bulgaria, 2017, Bulgaria got robbed. They should have won. I'm just saying, just throwing it out there. Then we got some cards.
There's a lot of cards.
Oh yeah, look at all of these.
Most of them are the trivia cards, but then there are also these are the cards. It's not
pull the band off and show some of them.
It's not a straight up trivia game. You have to design your entry, and then so those are the things at the end.
These are ways to score extra points.
Extra points.
So things like having the lowest costume points will get you bonus points, or having highest instrument points might get you bonus points.
And then they have different ones like this where you pick a stage.
And these are worth points, and then you collect these by answering questions correctly, and then they have symbols on them, because matching symbols will get you bonus points also.
And then they have type of songs. So they have love songs.
And this is where you match the big symbol on there. So the love song is a symbol you're trying to match with the others, because most of the other cards will have multiple symbols, whereas the type of song it is will only have one.
A costume card.
That's actually the most interesting part of the game.
Yeah, and then instruments. You have four of all of these, and you're trying to make your complete entry.
And then you have trivia questions where it'll ask a question and have answers. They're pretty standard trivia looking questions.
Yeah, some are multiple choice, some aren't. The multiple choice ones, they shade the correct answer.
Now, all right, I've got some problems with the cards. Now, they look nice, very aesthetically pleasing. These cards are ridiculously thin, though. These are very poor quality cards. They do not feel substantial.
The game was not that expensive.
Yeah, but these cards, I mean, just after a couple plays, they're already getting damaged. They feel only about twice the thickness of like loose leaf paper. They're not thick at all. These are not durable. So the quality of the cards is pretty low, and I really just feel like I need to draw attention.
Then there's the board,
which might be my favorite component.
The back of the board has a little design, but then
it's just very pretty. The board is, the board is almost completely superfluous in the actual gameplay.
The game,
but it looks nice.
The game notes are the spaces.
Yeah, which is kind of cool, and they look really pretty.
And there are intersections where you can change the ring.
You can change direction a little bit. Yeah,
it makes it a little interesting.
But the look of the board is my favorite part about this game because it does look really nice. And then the rules?
The game rules.
Now, the rules are fairly short. This is only about 7 pages of rules, and they're fairly easy. We're going to show you how to play this game in a minute. The rules are well done, though, in regards to how they're in the book, that is. They are easy to understand. They have diagrams. The book is full color. This is not something I'm going to complain about. This is a fairly well done rule book. And that's basically everything that comes in the box. So now we're going to take you to the table, and we're going to run you through a few turns and show you how you play a game of the Eurovision Song Contest, the board game. And then we're going to come back. We're going to talk about how this game feels. We're going to review it and rate it. And
here is a setup for Eurovision Song Contest, the board game.
For 2 players.
We have the 2 player pawns that you pick a note to start on.
Now, I find it very valuable to start on either an intersection or right before an intersection, so that way you have multiple directions you could possibly go in to get the right colors for the right cards that you want.
Each player picks 2 countries to represent.
I am being Bulgaria and Australia.
And I am being Italy and Ukraine. We shuffle up the cards and we put them, it says in the rule book, English side down. But, if you read Dutch, then I guess you could put the Dutch side down.
I'm sure it would say that in the Dutch rule book that it also
probably. Then these are the theme cards. Each card is a color that corresponds to a note space on the board. Yes. So if you land on a blue note, you answer a question, and then if you get it correct, you can take one of these blue cards.
And then immediately replace it with one of the from its deck.
And the goal is to get both your countries get a full Eurovision entry with one of each card.
And they are each worth an amount of points that are listed on the card, plus they have symbols, which the largest set of symbols you're able to collect for your country will also give you bonus points, in addition to getting bonus points from the what is that deck called that gives the bonus scoring?
It's the grand final.
The grand final deck. All right, so let's run through a few. A few turns, and we'll show how this goes, and then we'll show how the scoring works.
Okay, so roll a die and go. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Orange. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter. I don't have anything, do I?
Well, it depends on which one you might be wanting.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Orange or blue?
Yes.
Well, let's go for orange because I want to pick my stage.
Okay.
As long as I get this question right.
Let's see how this goes. All right, this is just a yes or no question.
Okay.
Did Australia take part in the 2015 Eurovision Song Contest?
Yes.
Correct. So that is now discarded, and Lynn may take one of
the...
That was an easy one, yeah. Oh, yeah, that very easy. That was the first year they were in.
Yes.
So you get one of the orange
I am going to pick a world stage.
Okay. So
and I'm going to put it under Ukraine.
Okay, good for Ukraine. Let's see what I got. I got a 1, so I can go pink or orange. I'm going to go pink. So go ahead and ask me my question.
Okay, this is multiple choice. Which singer won the 2012 Eurovision Song Contest?
Oh boy, I didn't watch that one.
Loreen, Engelbert Humperdinck, Emily DeForest or Lena?
Well, I know Lorene won one. I don't know what year she won, so I'm going to go Lorene.
You're correct.
Oh, goody. That's just, I know. That was a process of elimination one right there. So I'm going to take rock, and I'm going to give Bulgaria a rock entry. Okay.
A 1. Well, pink for me.
Okay. So it's which country won the Eurovision Song Contest in both 1978 and 1979?
2 in a row.
Yes, 2 in a row.
It's not multiple choice?
Nope. This is a know it or you don't one. These are the tough ones.
Yeah. I know Israel won it twice, but that was in the 90s. I'm going to go with Ireland.
Nope, it was Israel.
Oh, was it?
It was Israel.
It was the 90s where they did it twice
Nope.
in a row.
78 and 79 apparently.
Huh.
So I'm going to pink. So go ahead and ask me a question there.
Which country won the 2009 Eurovision Song Contest?
Oh boy.
Finland, Russia, Norway, or Iceland?
All right, it wasn't Finland because they were like 06 or 07. They weren't 09. What were the other options again?
Russia, Norway, Iceland.
Norway.
Correct.
Woo! That was a guess. Okay, so I'm going to pick pop. I'm going to give a pop entry for Australia. And now this is basically how the game goes. You roll and move. You can change direction where the intersections are, and you're trying to collect a specific group of 4 of these cards, 1 orange, 1 pink, 1 blue, and 1 green, to get a full act together if you can. Now, what happens is as you slowly collect these, so let's just grab some others and collect them for our countries. I'm going to take this costume for Bulgaria. Go ahead and grab whatever you want as you see it. I'm going to take... got to replace it, though.
Oh. What color am I missing? Blue.
So let's see. I'll take this instrument for...
Oh, we're just doing one country?
Well, no, I'm doing both countries.
Oh, okay.
Let's just group our countries together. We'll get our 4... What am I missing? Orange there. They need orange. I'm going to take that staging
Disco
for Australia.
For Italy. Oh, boy.
Oh, boy, indeed. And I'm going to... Let's see. I guess... Unfortunately, Bulgaria is not going to be doing as well. I'm not getting the set collected like I wanted. And I'll take...
Missing blue again. Take this one.
Oh, there we go. I'll take that one. Okay, so once one of the players... As soon as one player... Let's... you know what? I'm going to lose one card because... here we go. As soon as one player has a set of 4 cards for both their countries... which Lynn does, and every other player has at least one country with a set of 4. So I have Australia has all 4 of their cards here, but Bulgaria only has 3. That's when the game ends, because everyone has at least one full set, and one player has 2 full sets. At that point, we start dealing up the bonus point, the final cards. We go to our final spaces, and we deal up the final cards until everybody either, when you can qualify for a card, you have to... whoever qualifies for it will get the card. If 2 people qualify for it, you roll off to see if you get it. And once everybody has taken 3 cards that they qualified for, they will the game will end and we add up our points. So let's show how that goes.
You can also pass a card.
Oh yes, you can decline.
Yes.
Okay, so flip it
So
up.
the first is the lowest instrument points.
So I've got a 70 on both.
I have 65 on both of mine.
So you get to take it from one of yours if you want.
I'll put it on Ukraine.
Okay, what's the next one?
The next one is the player with the most cards.
Well, that would be you. So you can
So
take it and put it on either of yours if
I'll
you like.
put it over here.
Okay, go ahead.
And then we have lowest stage points.
Let's see. Well, I've got 0 stage points on Bulgaria. They didn't get a stage card. So Bulgaria can get that.
Then we have 2 of the same icon. I think pretty much both of us can.
Everyone's got 2 of the same. I got
Right.
2 of the rock icon here. I've got 2 of the mic icon. Yeah, everyone's got that.
So we would roll whoever is higher or wants it.
That's me. I'll take it. I'm going to give it to Australia. Go ahead.
Then we have 4 of the same icon.
Ooh, let's see. 1, 2, 3. I got it with Australia. I got 4 mics.
Okay, you have it. I don't have it.
Okay, so I'm going to take that. Okay, go ahead.
Lowest song points.
70 on both of my songs.
That's you.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna give that to Bulgaria. They could use that.
Highest song points. My highest is 80.
That's you.
Highest stage points.
My stage is 80.
So is mine.
So, okay.
Ooh.
Ooh, roll again. I got a 6.
I got a 6.
All right, so I'll take the tenor. I'm going to give that to Bulgaria.
So now we have best electronic.
Electronic?
That's a little plug.
Which one is the... Oh, it's the plug. So I've got only 1 for Bulgaria and 2 for Australia.
I have 2 for Ukraine, but I'm going to try and hold out for extra...
So you're going to pass it?
More than 8 points, so I'm going to pass.
All right, let it go.
And then we have best pop, which is the microphone.
I got 4.
You have it if you want it.
I'll take it. That finishes up Australia for me.
Okay, so best classical. Both of mine only have 1, but you know what? I'm gonna wait to see if there's any bigger.
Well, remember, I was gonna say, remember, I can still get them to replace in for better points, but it's an 8. I have 8.
Yeah.
What do we got?
Best jazz.
Jazz is which symbol now? It says jazz.
It says jazz.
Yeah, that's going to be you. I don't have any.
I don't want it. Best disco. Ooh, I want that. I have 3 disco balls with Italy.
I have 2, so you beat me out.
And then we have best R&B.
That is the little
chain.
necklace. I have 2 with
I only have
Australia.
1, so that you can replace.
Oh, I'll take that. I'm gonna replace one of my 8 pointers with it.
Lowest points.
I have 180 with Bulgaria with their points, and I think that's just from the main cards.
Yeah.
So I got 180.
It's probably you because you don't even have a full one.
So I'm gonna definitely take that.
Best Latin is the little fan. I have 2.
I've got 2 for Australia is the most I've got for that.
Both of mine is 2 as well.
I'm gonna pass. You can take it.
I'll take it for Ukraine.
Yeah, can always get something better.
3 of the same icons.
Oh, I got that.
I do too. I have disco.
So let's roll up. Oh, probably not me. Oh, never know. There we go. Whoa. Oh, that's weird. Roll 1 again. That'd be hilarious.
2.
Oh, you got it.
Yeah.
All right, so now we stop. So now at this point, we add points up for each of the cards for what their value is. So for instance, this card is worth 70 points. We get bonus points for our cards we earned at the end. And then the largest set you have, so for instance, this Australia here has a set of 4 of the pop icon, which is that microphone. 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, and 1 there. The largest set you have of symbols will give you bonus points. And how many points do you get for each numbers of the symbols there?
If you have 2 of the same, you get 5 extra points. 3 of the same are 10 extra points, and 4 of the same are 20 extra points.
So that would be 20 extra points for Australia, actually making it very likely that they would win because they also got a lot of points in their collection of the set plus their extra points at the end. So there you have it. That is how you play the game Eurovision Song Contest, the board game. So now we're going to head back. We're going to talk about how this game feels. We're going to rate it and review it. So that was how you play a game of Eurovision Song Contest, the board game. And all right, so the first thing I got to say is that this is basically, at its core, this is Trivial Pursuit about Eurovision questions. I mean, when it comes down to it, it's a basic trivia game. You move on the board, you land on the color spot, and you get asked a question about that category, which is how you play Trivial Pursuit.
No, you just get asked a question. You get to choose a card from the category that corresponds to the color on the musical note.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And so, okay, but that being said, at least they did add some extra things in. I mean,
because you're making
there's
an entry.
Yeah, there's like a set collecting aspect they added in. I mean, you use so in technically, I suppose you could say that Trivial Pursuit was set collecting because you have to collect a set of all the wedges. Mm-hmm. But not really. I mean, you just gotta collect all the wedges.
Right.
So in this, the different kinds of questions allow you to collect cards, and if you can collect combinations of sets, even if both you and your opponent collect all the cards needed, your cards might be worth more points.
Yes.
So that helps to add a little something extra in. I like the set collecting. I like the collecting of, like, I got the song, I have the staging, I have the instruments, I got all these things together, and look, I collected lots of the same. I collected lots of high point stuff, or I collected a little lower point stuff, but they all have
the same symbol.
The same symbol, so I get a big set and get a lot of extra points. That part is kind of fun to me, but the main point of the game is nothing but trivia questions, and I hate blatant trivia games because the thing about those is either
you know it or you don't.
Yes, you know it or you don't, or you're guessing because you're like, I mean, this does. We've been watching for the last few years, but this goes back all the way to like the 60s.
No, 50s, the very beginning.
And it's like I don't know the answers to any of the questions from the 50s and 60s.
The cards do have they have difficulty ratings on them. I think it's like 1 through 3 stars or something.
Yeah, but who decides what the difficulty is?
Exactly. The thing is, I looked through some of the ones that were supposedly easy difficulty, and I was like, I don't even know like who that person is.
And you've gone back and watched a lot of the Eurovision.
I have. I've gone back all the way to like the early 2000s, just watched them on YouTube.
Yeah. So you know what? Okay. So my problem is that the main point of the game is just to be a trivia game, and trivia games in general, because of that nature of you know it or you don't, are not very good if you don't know it. Mm-hmm. Now, it's not to say you might not enjoy this. If, you are someone who's obsessed with Eurovision and knows all the trivia, and you have friends that you talk about Eurovision with all the time, and you guys, like, know all the freaking trivia. So, like, let's say the guys from Wee Wee Blogs and the dude from overthinking Eurovision. Let's say the guy from Overthinking Eurovision and the guys from Wee Wee Blogs got together for a beer and board game night, and they wanted to play this. They'd probably have a blast. So if you and your friends know as much about Eurovision as they do, yeah, you might enjoy it because you'll know a good portion of the trivia questions. On the other hand, if you're a more casual Eurovision watcher, no, avoid this. I don't think, generally speaking, because of the style it is and how specific and narrow the target is, I don't want to recommend this to anyone who's not, like, obsessed with Eurovision and doesn't go back and watch, at this point, probably everything at least till the 70s. If you haven't gone back and watched all the Eurovisions to the 70s, I would say don't. Don't get this. That being said, I will sometimes play it with you when you want to play it, because I know you are rating it higher than I am. So why don't you talk about why you like it?
Well, I am obsessed with Eurovision.
Okay.
I have gone back and watched previous contests. I get the DVDs from the Eurovision shop every year and watch, the last contest a couple times. Don't judge.
I'm not judging. Go on.
Yes, there is a lot of trivia in here that I don't know. I've only been actually watching the live shows since 2014, even though I knew about it earlier. It's just I didn't realize I could watch it on the internet. I just was like, after the fact, oh, they won,
Yeah.
So, I think it's fun to create your own little Eurovision entry with like your costume and your type of music.
But
and
again,
stage.
that's not really the main part of the game.
It's not the main part. It's the trivia. And yeah, unless you're playing with other people who have an equal amount of knowledge as you, it's very, what's the word I'm looking for?
Niche?
Yes.
It's very niche.
Yeah.
And now here's the thing, like, even with me, and I've watched everything from 2014.
You didn't watch 2014 with me.
Did I not?
No, that was when Conchita won. You watched 2015.
No, we went back and watched it later.
You? Okay.
Yeah. So I've seen everything from 2014 to 2018. Okay, so that's 4 years. But that is not even scratching the surface because this thing's been going on since the 50s. Now, that being said, I do not, having watched the last 4 years, I do not have nearly enough knowledge to be able to play this very well. There's way too many questions that come up where I'm like, I've got no idea. I'm just guessing. And even though the collecting of the different parts, like you said, is fun, the trivia leaves me feeling completely empty inside. So because of that, and again, also because of the fact that I generally just do not like standard trivia games like that, like Trivial Pursuit. I really don't like Trivial Pursuit. I'm going to give Eurovision the Song Contest 4 out of 10 stars. But keeping in mind that I give Trivial Pursuit like 2 stars, so it's actually a step up because the set collecting I do find interesting. So 4 is not very good, but I could be, at 4, I don't like it, but I could be convinced to play it again because I know Lynn does like it, and I will sometimes agree to play it with her, especially if she has someone else over who's a fan of Eurovision, and I know they're going to want to play it too. So
and probably if I agree to put Sound of Silence on repeat.
That's a great song. What year was that when Australia got robbed? That was 2016, right? Yeah, with the Sound of Silence.
I believe you mean Sergei got robbed.
No, it was definitely Australia.
Sergei should have won.
No. Anyway.
Anyway, my score is, I'm gonna give it a 7.
Okay.
Because
that's positive. That's very positive.
I do like it. I wish I had in real life Eurovision fanatics to play it with.
You're gonna have to make friends with the guys on Wee Wee Blogs and invite them over for a beer and board game night. They'll come to the U.S. at some time. One of the guys is from the U.S. But okay, so 7 means you like it and you'll play it anytime someone asks. So you just wish you had more people who were as into Eurovision as you are.
Yeah, I wish I had more people to play it with.
I'll play it with you sometimes, even just you and me. It is quick.
But it is a trivia game, and while they do throw in those other elements, it's still just a trivia game.
It is.
And trivia games are okay.
So at least you're kind of seeing eye to eye with me on that. Even though you're giving a 7, which is a pretty high score. 7 means you like it and you're playing anytime you have someone else who wants to play it with you. So now, okay. So I'm a 4, you're a 7. We're pretty far apart. We're not close together at all. Are you agreeing with me about who I would recommend this to?
If you're super into Eurovision, and there is the thing where, you can make your, there's a ton of cards in here. There's so many cards. You don't need to use them all in a giant stack. You can go through them and make a stack that's reasonable.
Yeah, but the problem with that is then you've looked at all the questions and answers before, the other people you're playing with. That's kind of cheating.
Well, not if you do it and then you forget about it. You just set it aside for
I almost feel like you should probably just grab a random group of cards and shuffle them together. And again, because the difficulty of what's supposedly a more difficult question we don't always agree with, it's tough to do with just the difficulty-based cards. I think that is another thing I have to complain about is I don't think the difficulties are done very well, which is why I just say grab a random handful and just deal with it, basically. But again, this is really for super fans of Eurovision, people who are obsessed with Eurovision trivia. And also people who like standard trivia type games. So if you were someone who as a kid played Trivial Pursuit and liked it and actually has fond memories of it and is obsessed with Eurovision, then this might be the game for you. If you're anywhere outside of that tiny little niche, I cannot recommend this game to you.
The one thing I will say is that Trivial Pursuit did not have multiple choice questions. And while not all of these are multiple choice,
at least you can guess.
The majority of them are.
And that's true. And at least you can guess. But again, the guessing feels empty because it's just I don't know, C.
Well, sometimes you can use process of elimination.
Yeah. Okay.
And so it's more of an educated guess.
But sometimes you can.
Yeah.
So there you have it. So 4 stars from me, 7 stars for Lynn for Eurovision Song Contest, the board game. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns either on this game or this video, feel free to put them in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this review and tutorial video and you'd like to see us do more like it, be sure to give it a like, share it on all forms of social media that you may have, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to the board game Kaptain, that's Kaptain spelled with a K, on YouTube. And until next time, game on!